the belief loop keeping you stuck, and how to break it. I used to think I had a discipline problem, that I just couldn't follow through. But it wasn't my willpower that was broken, it was my belief loop. See, I had this quiet, constant thought that I was not enough. And guess what? I kept finding proof of that over and over again, showing up in my life. And I felt so frustrated because I was trying so hard to change certain patterns. It felt like an enormous amount of effort I was putting towards this and seeing very minimal change. And it wasn't because I was actually not enough. It was because I was subconsciously committed to a story that I didn't even know I was telling. So let's break this down. A belief loop is a cycle that your subconscious mind uses to make sure that your reality remains consistent. It looks like having a thought, then there's a resulting emotion or feeling, then we take action on that feeling that creates a certain result in our life, which reinforces the original thought. So, really, this is about identity, who we believe that we are at our core, because who we believe we are and the beliefs that we hold in our subconscious are always what are going to trigger our thoughts, our emotions, which create our actions, which reinforces our original thought. That's why it is a loop. It plays over and over and over again. And many of us are unaware of what the underlying belief system even is because it's embedded in our subconscious mind, which is actually the 95% below our conscious awareness. Our conscious mind is only the 5%. It's such a small part, but that's the part that most of us have access to because we've never done this deeper work. And no one's ever really told us how. So here's an example of this. Having a limiting belief that you're not enough will then create the feeling of reluctance and avoidance, which translates into not taking action or avoiding the very things that we want because we're afraid that we're not good enough. It keeps us playing small in our own lives. And the result of that is that we never take risks and then we don't ever go after the things that we truly want because on a very deep level, we believe we are just not enough and that we'll never be able to have those things. And then because we don't take any action, that reinforces the original belief. See, I'm not enough. Your subconscious mind is like a loyal assistant. Its job is to make sure that your experience matches your beliefs. It keeps you in line with the identity that you hold, not necessarily your desires or what you say you want. It's actually who you're being and the underlying belief system that is driving that. And here's the twist. Your subconscious mind doesn't even matter whether the belief is true or not. It just runs off the patterning and the programming. It's neutral either way, but it keeps replaying the patterns that are familiar and keep you safe. If you've lived most of your life believing, I'm too much, or I have to prove my worth, those loops feel safe in your body, even if it's painful. And that's what keeps most of us in a dysregulated state. If we try to break outside of those beliefs and we go into those activated states that feel scary and signal danger, so we immediately pull back. So, what do we do if we find ourselves stuck in one of these belief loops? The first step is always awareness. We have to become aware of the underlying belief that is keeping us stuck. This is actually a rather simple practice of just recognizing any time you're having any kind of emotional reaction or you feel dysregulated or you're having an activation, we pause and we begin to ask the question, what story am I telling in this moment? What meaning am I giving to the event in my life? This is going to give us an initial awareness of what the patterning may be, although sometimes we have to go even deeper to get the root belief that's driving the story or the meaning that we're assigning to the very events in our current life. When we ask ourselves, what's the belief behind this pattern? What do I keep proving to be true, even if I don't want to, but it just keeps showing up in my life? And then write it down. The next thing we have to do is interrupt the pattern and use this simple prompt. Up until now, this is what I believed. But now I'm choosing to believe this instead. So, for instance, if my belief is I'm not good enough, I used to believe I'm not good enough. But now I choose to believe in the fact that I am worthy and deserving simply because I exist. I am enough. I have always been enough. I will always be enough. Now, the next piece is where we embody these new beliefs. And this is a critical component that many people don't talk about. It is about reinforcing these new beliefs and reprogramming our subconscious mind. But we have to begin to show up as the version of ourselves that we desire to be. So, a person who had a belief that she was enough, how would she show up in her life? What thoughts would she have? What action would she take? And these don't have to be big actions. Even small micro shifts can be incredibly powerful. If we believe we are enough, we would start showing up and taking care of ourselves. We would self reference and ask ourselves what we think in any situation. We would notice when we're slipping back into old patterns of overgiving or people pleasing or outsourcing our own worth. We just start to notice and shift and make new decisions based on the new beliefs that we have decided are now our current truth. And every time you act from a new belief, you install a new belief loop, which means now there's a new belief loop running. And the more you reinforce this through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, the more it becomes embedded and becomes natural to you. It becomes your new programming. You are not your patterns, and you are not bound by your past. You get to decide. You are the person who gets to rewrite the story starting now. You can do it in this very moment. Allow it to be easy and effortless. And tell yourself and instill those beliefs. It is easy. I can change a belief in an instant. And then start showing up as somebody who embodies that and who believes it. I believe in you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing this very brave work. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.